This is the January real estate market report for Washtenaw County. And the activity in Washtenaw for December and into the beginning part of January followed the same trend we saw in the fall and up through November as well. And that listing inventories are rising. Values are still rising, but at a slower rate. And sales are rising as well overall, but it's broken out by segments. One of the things that we noticed was, particularly in the last couple months, that the middle market, the $250,000 to $500,000 market, inventories, the number of homes sold actually rose quite a bit, and they actually fell slightly in the under $250,000 market, and that's usually the opposite of what we're seeing in most markets. It's the under $250,000 market that has the most activity. But what's unique about Washtenaw is that under $250,000 market is very scarce. Just aren't a lot of listings. It's the one segment where the number of homes for sale actually is continuing to decline. So what we're seeing is that buyers are fleeing that price range. I think they're not able to find properties for sale in that market, so they're moving upscale, and they have the financial ability, since affordability is still very strong. You have a whole bunch of buyers that can afford to actually move up. And so the demand is stronger in that middle market, and values are jumping, and there's inventory to chase. So, and the over $500,000 market for Washtenaw still continues to be strong, actually stronger than the rest of Southeast Michigan. But we're still seeing a settling there. Inventories are rising. We expect that to continue throughout next year, and values are rising, but in the 3% range versus the under 250 market. They're jumping up over 10%. At least they were midway through 2014. We're seeing that actually settling into under 10% in the 7 to 8% range now, these last few months. And that's healthy, because an over 10% appreciation rate in any segment is not healthy, and it can't be sustained. So the good news is, going into 15, is that we have a general movement for increase in inventories. We have sellers that have more equity, so those sellers that have been holding off for the last 7 to 8 years have now been able to see that they've got equity, see they've got value, and they're starting to make those move-up decisions, and that's releasing inventory. We're also going to see, hopefully, a little bit of relaxing in the ability for first-time home buyers to get mortgages, and that's one of the holdups too in expanding the real estate market. As you've got student loan issues, you've got just conservative views from the consumer spending habits in general because of the recession. You have credit standards being tough, so all of those things are particularly holding back first-time home buyers. We think this year coming up, as time goes on, and in 2015, those standards will be relaxed a little bit. We've already seen the FHA relax their standards with reducing the premiums on their PMI insurance. We're seeing the 3% conventional mortgages available, 3% down. So we're seeing things that are drawing, the government's realizing that there's a need to draw those first-time home buyers in the market to keep the dominoes going. They allow the second-time buyers to move up and up. So the trends coming into the year, in fact, most all the economic trends for housing are stronger going into 15 than they were into 14, and the overall economic indicators in terms of job creation and general economic growth are stronger as well. And to a certain degree, the issues that we're seeing in the other parts of the world, the fact that there's worry about recession and deflation in Europe and other recessionary issues in the Far East, that's helping our housing industry because it's keeping mortgage rates low for us. So in the short run at least, that should actually help boost our industry that's across the country, not just in Washtenaw County, boost our industry at least for this year and maybe into 2016 as well. But overall, we can expect a pretty steady year. That generally the economists are saying for housing across the country, home value, number of homes sold will probably rise 3 to 5%. Home value is probably the same. We think probably Washtenaw County will be about the same in terms of homes sold, and that's probably a conservative view. I think if anything, whatever happens in the market different than what we expect, it'll be a pleasant surprise as opposed to a disappointment. We think that there is some pent-up buyer demand out there that will be released in spring. People have been on the sidelines waiting for inventory to come into the market. So there's some good things that could happen coming into the spring. And we'll have better weather, too, this winter. So that'll help carry some activity. And probably the one best advice we have for sellers right now is, with buyer demand strong, with listing inventories still low, a lot of times sellers wait until spring to put their homes on the market. I would say that now is spring. So those sellers who put their homes on the market now ahead of it will be pleasantly surprised with the activity and with the results. So this is the one year, if there's going to be a year where you don't want to hesitate, you want to jump in the market in January, February, March, not wait until April. This is the year to do that. So we're looking for good things. Thanks.